Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Everyday Review Show. Today we have a product from Amazon. It's called MeeFar, M-E-E-FAR, F-A-R. It's a roof cargo basket with bag, straps, and net. This was actually the largest one they had, which as you can see the product dimensions right here is 6539 by 6. You also have the package dimensions. This is what's included. Your basket right here, your cover, which they call the bag. You have your fishnet, and of course you have your overall straps. It is pretty heavy. It's stapled on the edges. What I like to do is cut this up, try to use the box as my base to work on. Here it is, out of the box. Looks like it's tied down pretty well with zip ties, and all the components are inside. We see the straps right there, and our net. It's all packaged pretty well in one piece. Here's our user's manual. Let's take a quick look. Anti-rust guide. Always wear goggles, safety. I guess this is the diagram that we are looking for. And there's two ways to do this. If you want a smaller basket, you actually avoid the middle piece and you just go from end to end and you attach that. But since we want the bigger piece, we're gonna have that middle piece, which these are the protective gaskets that we're talking about. They go on every joint. It only works on the oval type of roof racks and not the round ones. So make sure you check your roof rack to see if it's oval or round, because this only fits the oval. All right, let's get to it. Very well done, very well done. It would be nightmare to return something like this. Just seeing how well it's packaged. Inside piece are separate. Gonna put our bag to the side. Here is our tie down and our straps. So here it is. We were able to take all of the foam padding off, kind of put the structure, what it's gonna look like. We have our straps on the side and our net. This is the component for the bracket. These right here. And these were the gaskets that we saw on our user's manual that are going to go between these spaces here. This is your front, and you know this because it has this plate which they call the windbreaker, and that's going to be the rear. Wanting to figure out how these mounts attach together here, we're going to start with our bar, the number 11, 10, 9, 8 with the 12 on top. Slide that on, and when you put the screw, then you can slide the sleeve back on there and do that on all four sides before you connect. Here is a little bit of grease. This is all-purpose grease. We'll lubricate the inside of some of these. That's it right there. There we go. And these are going to be your end cap screws right there for these right here. Yeah, go ahead and put a little grease in there. I'm sure WD-40 will work too, just to save yourself a little hassle. Okay, so we're going to put the gasket on the screw. Do the same thing to the bottom one. Just put right in. I do want to mention how difficult it was to pull this sleeve onto the screw because we did not lubricate this one. So highly recommend you listen to the manual and lubricate these because they slide a lot easier. So I'm going to go ahead and do that for all other three sides, and the middle ones we already put some grease on there. Here's everything put together. Went ahead and put the gasket coverings on top of these bars, end caps as stated on the instructions, and all four side joints here, which would make 8 joints here. Have the screw, gasket, and our sleeve on top. It says that the max distance between the crossbars on top of your roof should not be more than 52 inches. Ours is at 44 right now, so we're good, but we might still have to fiddle around with it to make it fit in between these bars. We're gonna go ahead. I have a Subaru Ascent 2019. Now we are attempting to put this on the roof. As you can see, I had to move my original rack a little bit so it falls inside one of these grooves. The back one already did, so we started from there. And then just to take this out, at least for my car here, we needed a star and this hole right here that we took out. And then I was able to pop this bottom bracket out that went right, it goes right here with a flathead screwdriver. Never moved it around. It's going to be quite tight. Once you do that, I think we're getting in a good place here. We're inside this groove where we can tie this down and start working on placing the brackets on 4 of these. My bar here says maximum load of 150. I read in the manual that a maximum load for this is 200 pounds. So you go 1, 2 spaces here, and then 1, 2 spaces from the joint. And they seem to be sitting on there pretty well. So we're gonna go ahead and place the brackets now on all 4 sides and clamp this thing down to the car and see what it looks like and how it holds. It goes as follows: bar, plastic spacer, the mounting bracket, the knobs, and our protective caps. And we're gonna put those in this sequence. You're gonna notice that these have these curvatures on one side, so they can't really go in this way, and they're gonna go this way. And you'll see if you push, it kind of snaps into place with the sides coming on top and the grooves fitting that. Let's go on and mount these. Alright, so we're going to do this. You got the bar right here. We're going to send the bar from the bottom. And like we said, we're going to put the groove in the bracket. You can see these grooves kind of line up with these bars or knob. And then you kind of want to center it out. I think the further you go, a little bit better, because it's going to allow you to stabilize the edges, whereas the middle is pretty stable because it's resting on your bar already. We've already done that one. You can see that right there. And we're doing the same thing on this side. This part is relatively straightforward, and it doesn't say to use a tool to tighten it, so we're just going to go with a hand tight with the knob. And you can see just with 2, this thing's not going anywhere. Yeah, it's taking all the slack out of the system here. They come with these caps. This is going to help not damage your cargo or have it slip out or anything like that. We're going to do the other 2 on these areas, and we're going to show you what the final product looks like. We're going to open the bag and go from there. Alright, it's bag time. Comes with a lock. We have this huge bag that goes over it. This is supposed to be waterproof, and we're gonna hit a lot of rain and possibly some snow. This is gonna keep our cargo from getting wet. So you have the net, you have the actual cargo itself having straps, and just to be secure, we have our actual straps with the tie down. Alright, so this has an opening here with Velcro, and then it zips open. So it's not just a cover, it's actually a bag for your luggage and suitcases. This is what it looks like opened up. Zips open, and then the orange part Velcros on top to keep everything secure. Now, I don't know how much this is going to limit the number of stuff you can put on there, because obviously this has to be able to cover it. So we'll see. We'll see how it works out. I have a feeling that you can't overpack too much. So we packed it as much as we could. We have obviously a lot of things to take. It's about 6 of us, 4 adults, 2 kids. As you can see, the space is great, but the bag itself is somewhat restricting. So I had to put some waterproof covering. This material is quite sturdy. Feels really good. The zippers are thick. And they have this loop for the lock that we saw earlier. And I'm just gonna strap all these down all around. The straps that come with the bag also are strapped down. Looks pretty secure. I mean, this thing is solid. I can move the car with it. Everything looks pretty solid. I will try to update throughout our trip. See how this thing hangs up. As you can see, I'm quite impressed with this product. It came all in one piece. Everything's strapped down real tight. We went through rain, storm, and snow, believe it or not, and it held up great. I barely have a drop of water in there. So far, I'm very happy with this product. Quite happy. The size is very fitting. We had stuff for about 6 people. I think somewhere about 8 suitcases or something like that, small and large. And quite impressed with how tight everything was. I didn't hear anything shifting around, anything moving around. Everything was stable, especially the straps on top. Kind of tightened everything down to the bracket. Let me show you the front as well. There's that windbreaker. There's the brand I was talking about, MeeFar. So just wanted to add that, as you can see, we have traveled in all weather conditions. This week brought rain, storm, and snow, and the rack is doing just fine. I took the waterproof part off. We have it in a dry place, and when we load up, we can put it back on. Just a quick shot for you guys.